They've been down all the time, double digits in the playoffs, meaning the Chiefs. This one for them looked bleak.
Well,
but again, it's magic.
Over, in many ways, exactly what the 49ers would want is a 20-10 lead with 7 minutes left and the ball in their hands, and they've been running the ball well.
Yes.
And they took no time off the clock, gave the ball back to Patrick Mahomes, and he made magic happen. And that's what he's done all year long. And you thought that this pass rush wouldn't allow that this team wouldn't allow it, and they did. And he went down and magically put up another 2 big touchdowns and then a last one. So in many ways, in my mind, the 49ers had it, and because they didn't run the football, they have to now look at themselves and say, we gave it back to the Magic Man.
It's one of those games where Kyle Shanahan let it slip from him again. I said today, being able to get in the shootout, your quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, being in a shootout against Patrick Mahomes, he's poised and ready for this. As you said, Boom, in the playoffs, these guys are known to fight from behind. But, Steve, what you just alluded to, being able to stop the run in the second half, I thought the Chiefs were struggling with it and just
they're on their heels.
The San Francisco 49ers didn't stay with the run. I thought Mostert had a hell of a second half, but they did not stay with the run.
And, Boomer, it's amazing to me that it took all of that desperation for the Legion of Zoom to get moving.
Well, they weren't there.
It was crazy. It's like they were playing into the 49ers' hands in many ways. And so I guess they need to be desperate. And they did it. They did it. I would not like to live that way. It's amazing.
Desperate is usually mid-second quarter, late third quarter. This 7.5 minutes to go against a team playing outstanding defense, outstanding. It was as if, and we can get into it after highlights and interviews, it was as if, Steve, we talked about it on the sidelines, they didn't trust the pocket to last long enough to even try those explosives.
But I did love that they moved Pat around.
Yes.
I mean, he moved. That's how they scored early. That's how they got him, and they got the doubt in the defensive line for the end of the game. But my gosh, to not press down the field with Pat's arm. I just thought that took too long. But hey, it worked out. Back on the 49ers, they're going to look at the number of things, of course.
You know, being able to move Pat around, like you said, Steve, he was very effective. But the one thing that I looked at the first half opposed to the second half was how the Kansas City Chiefs was completing their passes. In the second half, I said in this morning's countdown that they had to be able to throw short, 5 yards, 10 yards. As you can see, they kept throwing Tyreek that hitch. They kept throwing Hartman that hitch. They threw Sammy Watkins that hitch. And what did those guys do? Run after the catch. There was a big play to Sammy Watkins against Richard Sherman. One thing I know about Richard Sherman, he loves for a wide receiver to take an outside release. On that big play in the second half to Sammy Watkins, you were probably short, Boom. He took an inside release. Richard Sherman thought inside release, inside breaking route. Sammy Watkins was able to get out for a big catch. That's what prevailed them for that touchdown.
Give that Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
At the key moment when they had to go 3 and out, essentially 4 and out, that defense stood up and really won that championship in many ways for the Chiefs. So do not lose the sight of that. They held their own all game long, and when the whole team needed them, they provided that big out with a few minutes left.
Well, think about it. Other than up 10-3, they weren't playing downhill like San Francisco was until, they got the lead later in the fourth quarter. They really didn't play downhill in the first half of any of the playoff games, Chiefs defense. I'm not saying, that's why they're like the Chiefs of Super Bowl IV with 6 Hall of Fame. I'm not saying that. It's just that they were behind all the time.
What you're saying is they kept it close enough for the Magic to happen.
Well, they did.
And they did.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.